Option Trader back at you again with another look at the current stock market situation, a little bit of technical analysis, and maybe even some commentary, if I can think of anything to say. So let's get started. We've got a holiday shortened week, 4 days of trading this week, obviously, because I'm putting the video up here on Monday. I did not do it Sunday. The reason I do that is just in case something happens Sunday or Monday morning or something like that that might affect us news-wise. And I haven't seen anything or heard anything substantial that we need to worry about. I do notice the futures are down slightly currently. As I do this, down 3.6 the S&P, so down a little bit, not huge. But we do have an expiration Friday coming up this Friday, so we had a lot of decay taken out of options, I believe, this weekend. You got a 3-day weekend. Probably by Thursday or Friday, most of it was taken out. So options were probably getting weaker, getting smaller, and the premium taken out here this last 3 days, which actually should make for some decent trading this week if you're picking the direction right, especially for intraday or quick trades. We do have a lot of news coming out Wednesday and Thursday this week. I think it'll move this market substantially. Again, generally I play those against the initial reaction, generally. So that's what I'll probably be looking to do, intraday trades. If we gap up, or not gap up, excuse me, if we shoot up high and hard on the news, then I'll probably be looking to fade it. And vice versa, if we drop down hard, I'll probably be looking to make a quick intraday up trade. Let's look at some charts, shall we? Let's start with the VIX. The VIX, I talked about this trend line being a weak trend line last week, and obviously it was. It broke right through it pretty darn easy. But interestingly enough, we're kind of holding up in this 2260 area, which is the top of this window or this gap. I would expect the bottom to be stronger than the top, down around the 2210 area, somewhere 2208 area. I'd have expected that to be a little bit stronger. But if you look at this chart a little closer, a couple things stick out at me. The Bollinger Bands gapping up or turning up pretty stinking hard, obviously in reaction to this move up here, but it's staying up. This is coming down a little bit, pointing to probably a little more upside movement, I would imagine. The problem with it is the RSI is crossing down and heading down with a lower high, so that to point to some low. Third, we got the 20 moving average crossing over the 50, which would point to more high. So anyway, it's confused. It doesn't tell us a lot right here. Just looking at the chart, if I took these studies off and just absolutely looked at it, okay, if I just looked at this, no studies on it, nope, I don't know what that's doing out there, it would look to me like I would be looking for this 21 area. Okay, if we break this 21 area, we're going down. I would think, obviously, if we hold above it and start to see a move up, which I think is going to happen, it'll probably look a lot like this. We'll probably take out this candle here, probably come into this area down here, and then I'd be looking for a bounce up on the VIX. That's just what I see without looking at all the technicals and everything else. So let's look at the Dow. Oops, I took my drawings off there. Okay, here's the Dow. Something to note on the Dow. This last week, or especially Friday, man, we had a huge divergence between the Dow and the NASDAQ. They were out of whack, not coinciding with each other, which generally makes it a very difficult trading environment, at least for me. The Dow, you can see RSI is still pretty low. Looks like it still has room to come up. You can see, excuse me, how high it stayed for such a period of time. Never really dropped, and this is our first drop way low into this area since June. Okay, now we have rallied back up to the bottom of these candles here, and we have a hanging man formation, which would generally be pretty bearish reversal signal with decent volume. Okay, so on here, looking at this chart, we're at a pretty decent resistance area, and like I thought, I didn't think we'd come up this hard. I thought we'd come up a little bit, maybe move sideways to up a little, which is kind of what we did, maybe a little higher than I anticipated, but see, followed by a big candle sell-off coming. And if I'm right, that would probably be tomorrow would be a prime day for that to happen, maybe the next day. So if I'm correct, you got the 20 crossing down over the 50, you got the Bollinger Bands starting to trend down, you got the RSI low, you had pretty good volume that day. So the Dow in and of itself looks pretty bearish that way, which I'd imagine the S&P will be similar, and it is, with even a more of a cross on that day instead of a hanging man, instead of a down day. So it's down 0.27%. Same type of formation, same type of thing. It did break above the bases here, which the Dow did not. So we're still kind of in no man's land. You can see we haven't moved sideways. We're inside this big candle, and I think as long as we stay in there, we're looking for a down day to come pretty quick. Everything else is very similar. This is where it gets interesting, is when we come to the NASDAQ. I thought I clicked on that. Obviously, I did not. Computers are never wrong. All right, we got to the NASDAQ. We got this channel here we were watching. Came up. Then it turned into type of a pennant. We broke to the upside of the pennant, of this ascending pennant. Came down, kind of rounded top off here off this long-term resistance, okay? And then we're dropping. Big days, big drop days coming. We have little up days, This one we had a couple decent up days, and we actually broke above. If we zoom in here, we broke above the base of this candle here, which isn't huge, huge support. I'd say up here is more appropriate, more strong support would be right in this area, the 2198, 2200 area. If we get up to that, I would look for a breakout to the upside. Again, we got a lot of the same technicals as the other charts, with the 20 moving average crossing beneath the 50. We've got a little bit of increase on the RSI, but it's still pretty low, trending up a little bit there. But the key to me would be this 2200 area. If we stay beneath it, I think it's going to offer resistance. And if we stay beneath that 2200, I'm going to be looking for another one of these big black candles following some up moves. I was thinking three steps up, or 3 rising crows, whatever it's called, 3 white soldiers with a follow-through type down day. And so I'd be looking for something like that on there, even though it looks a lot stronger than the other two. And it'll be the case of who's going to take who. Remember, the Dow was down huge on Friday and had a pretty strong rally. Russell, we're still in this channel I talked about last week. Top, bottom, top, bottom. So we should be moving up. The last move up, you can see, failed about 50% through. We've kind of broke through that. Probably the 50% is around 620 or so. So that'd be real easy. Real good resistance area would be the 615 area here. So keep an eye on that 615. It looks a little stronger than the others, but 615 would be my key. If we break above that, then we might be heading all the way up to the top of this thing here. The euro continues to break down, continues to be pathetic. We watched for the breakout of this trend last weekend. We had this wedge last weekend. It did just like we thought. So we're probably going to be looking for another bounce off the bottom Bollinger Band, maybe this fib area here. See this Bollinger Band curve over, hit a bounce, and probably look for another bounce up off of it. Then we'll start to determine whether we're going to keep going up or not. All right, let's look at some individual stocks while we still got some time. Let's start with Toll Brothers, one of my faves. I think I talked about this last week or week before. Just a real nice symmetrical pennant here. We're doing the third test of the top. You could call it the fourth. This is close enough. And the off 4 tests of the bottom. So keep an eye on this. We got earnings coming out here on the 24th. You're probably going to see a little resistance offered here. Probably going to see a down move offered here. And coming into earnings on the 24th, I wouldn't be playing it until after earnings. After I play it down here a little bit, I'd be looking for a reversal candle in the next few days. ILMN, here's another one I like to look at. Just a basic downtrend here. I kind of like it. It's just real pretty, and so kind of caught my eye. It's not really a triangle or anything. You can see it's got the 200 moving average. Tried to take it out once, took it out a little bit here, and I think the third time is a charm. So let's see if this bounces off this trend line. If we take out this 200, we had earnings already. We take out this 200, we could be down here in the $30 range. So we could have a pretty significant move. So just keep an eye on that. I think I'll go ahead and put an alert on that at the 200 moving average, just so I can remember to look at it. This is real simple. Just bullish engulfing off of Hollycorp. HOC is the ticker symbol in case you can't see it. It's off the 50 moving average with a bullish engulfing candle. Not super strong buy signal, but I like it for maybe a little pop up. It doesn't look like it wants to break through the Bollinger Band, and the bands are getting tighter. But anyway, maybe look for another move up, maybe an inside day, and then a move up on HOC. Buffalo Wild Wings, BWLD. This will be the last one we got time for today. Post earnings gap down. Very strong move. Took out the bottom of this gap down here. It's dropping down. I'd be looking for this thing to head for the 200 moving average, maybe after an inside day or two, and then bouncing from there. So that's it. We got a short week. Got a lot of news Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll be looking for some volatility there. And just keep an eye out. We've got kind of charts fighting against each other. NASDAQ fighting against everything else. So one of them is going to be the leader. One of them is going to be the follower. This will be AK Option Trader signing off. Trade well and prosper.